So if you end up trying to look up an auto smelter, usually this is what you're going to end up finding, which is something that ends up coming into play later in the game, where you end up having these drills going on these ore nodes, and then you basically make it so that these arms are going to end up picking up the ore, putting it into the furnace, and then it puts the finished ore into the chest. Ignore the crude design, I'm just making a quick example for you guys to show you that this is what the average person seems to consider an auto smelter in Core Keeper. But of course, after hours and hours of trial and error, bang, I give you the actual auto smelter for Core Keeper. It's very, very simple. So essentially, we're going to end up throwing all of our ore into this chest, doesn't matter which type of ore, and then one arm is going to carry the ore into the next smelter, into the next furnace, right? But essentially what ends up happening is the arms are very smart. So if an ore that can't go into this furnace is dropped onto this furnace, the next arm in the row is going to automatically grab that ore and pass it along until that ore ends up reaching its final destination, in which case gold has to be smelted in a kiln. So in order to compensate for every ore type in the game, let's say you're dumping all of them into one chest at a time, we have 3 furnaces to cover copper, iron, and tin, and then we have 3 kilns to cover gold, scarlet, and octarine. This way, if we end up dumping one of each type of ore in this chest, it has somewhere to go along the chain. The only other possibility is that maybe you're at the end game and so automated that you've got stacks of ore. Well, how do you end up dealing with that? Simple. You just end up adding more furnaces or more kilns to the row. Because if this kiln, for example, ended up having a full stack of gold, the arm would then end up grabbing any additional gold ore that needed smelted and throw it into the next kiln. Okay, now let's get into the nitty gritty for those of you that don't understand what I'm actually talking about. This is how it's set up. It's very, very simple and very basic. Essentially, this chest is going to end up being our load, and then the arm is going to grab from the chest, put it in the furnace, the next arm grabs it in the cycle, and then throws it in the chest as the completed product. And all you gotta do is just make sure that there's wire running underneath it so that all of these arms are receiving power from the power generator. So another really cool thing that I wanted to show you guys with the design was that you can very easily make this horizontal or vertical if you want to. So my design right here that I'm using is just a zigzag because I find it to be very compact and very condensed into a specifically enclosed spot. But if you got plenty of room to breathe in your horizontal market, you might want to end up building it like this because it's very easily covered by wall blocks. And so long as you have access to the chest, you could just keep this completely covered. Just saying, in case the automated stuff doesn't look good with your base. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for watching. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want, support the channel, and have a wonderful day, everybody.